The PS5 is breaking records for consoles sold, new Pokemon Snap reviews are coming in, and paint an interesting picture. And Nintendo drops a big demo on the Nintendo Switch, and I might be changing my tune about this game. What's going on, guys? I'm RGT85. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and be sure to like and share the video if you enjoyed it. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games. So with the success of the PlayStation 4 selling over 110 million units at last time we heard about it, obviously the PlayStation 5 was going to be a very hot item when it came out. It just has that sort of brand recognition. Sony is doing a really good job with things like first party games on the system. It's definitely a very desirable system, but I don't think many people anticipated that it would be as desirable as it has been. It's been near impossible to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 or even an Xbox system, obviously due to real world situations. You can't just waltz into a store and buy one of these anymore. Everything is being done online. And to me, I would feel like that would hinder the sales of a system, but obviously it really hasn't at all. The PlayStation 5 is literally breaking sales records. It's now outpacing the PlayStation 4 by quite a wide margin. The PlayStation 4 sold about 7.4 million consoles in its first year on the market, whereas the PlayStation 5 in about 6 months on the market has already sold 7.6 million consoles. So that's a pretty sizable jump, especially considering the fact that this is a premium system. It's a $500 system unless you go with the disc driveless one, which I don't know. I don't think that one's selling very well. At least in my head, I'm hoping it's not selling very well because I like my physical media. But this is obviously a very big deal because you're seeing sort of how the world is shifting away from common practices when it comes to shopping for things. But you have to imagine that Sony's looking at the situation and maybe even thinking to themselves, well, why do we want to have a big presence in a retail store if we're able to sell these systems online, a lot of times being directly to the consumer, which obviously will cut down on middleman charges and things like that. Now, obviously places like Walmart and GameStop don't really make money when they sell a PlayStation 5, but still, you have to wonder if this is going to sort of shift the way that we buy video game consoles in the future because of this weird precedent that was set with this situation where you can't just waltz into a store or anything like that. I think it's absolutely incredible. You know, is it really needed? Do you really need a PlayStation 5 right now? You know, not really. I mean, obviously when Ratchet and Clank comes out, I think that's going to be a huge game for the system. That's really one of the games I'm really looking forward to. Games like Demon Souls, Returnal, you know, they're all right. They're not really my cup of tea. Maybe Returnal will surprise me though, but definitely some very impressive numbers for the PlayStation 5. Now, how many of those went to scalpers instead of actual people? You know, that's obviously a topic for a different day. You never really know the answer to that anyways, but I definitely think it's very impressive and it'll be interesting to see how they keep up this momentum. Obviously, we don't really have many games for the PlayStation 5 right now. All the big games are starting to come out after July, so it's going to be an interesting situation. Definitely see how it paces compared to the PlayStation 4 and obviously just how it'll impact the video gaming industry. Next up, new Pokemon Snap is of course the upcoming biggest Nintendo Switch game that's coming out later on this week on April 30th, and we finally got some reviews online for the game. Right now the game is sitting at an 80 on Metacritic. It releases on April 30th and we have 42 reviews in, so I basically just want to look at a few different reviews because there's kind of some polarizing stuff with these reviews. You know, some people are giving this game like 10 out of 10s and some people are giving it lower scores like 6s, so it pretty much, I thought with Pokemon Snap, you know, you have to be a fan of the original game to sort of understand new Pokemon Snap, and I feel like you sort of see that in these reviews. So as you can see here, we have some high scores here. We have some 10 out of 10s from EGM and Telegraph. New Pokemon Snap might be one of the most thoroughly pleasant games that's come out for the Switch, if not ever. While the core gameplay is the same as it was in 1999, everything about the 2021 game is better. Pretty much what I think people that were going to pick up this game were going to expect with this game. They wanted that sort of evolution of new Pokemon Snap. They wanted to have better visuals, better control, more areas, more Pokemon, and I feel like they really nailed it with this game from everything we've seen thus far as, you know, accompanying what people's desires were with this game. Now, scrolling down the list, you see lots of 9 out of 10s. New Pokemon Snap is a stunning experience that at its best feels like Pokemon for the first time. Very high expectations with this game from a lot of people. Gamer NL quotation forthcoming, like they're so impressed that they can't even give you a quotation PlayStation right now. That's how big of a game this was to them. But of course, scrolling down the list, I want to look at some of the negative reviews to sort of see why people didn't necessarily enjoy this game. As you can see, a lot of high scores, but then we have some of the lower stuff here. The Guardian with a 6 out of 10. It is still enjoyable because the Pokemon themselves are so interesting to look at. It's just not wildly exciting. It's a laid-back game and one that offers many hours of gentle photographic research to anyone drawn to Pokemon's weird world, whether you're a veteran of 90s Pokemania or a 9-year-old. And you know, it's sort of weird to see that, because I think at its core, you kind of know what to expect with this game. It's not an action game. It's not something that's gonna, you know, raise your blood pressure or anything like that. Pokemon Snap has always been sort of a laid-back experience where you're taking pictures of various Pokemon in different poses, trying to get the highest scores and trying to, of course, submit them to the professor to get different rankings. Of course, there's the online system in the game as well. So, you know, it's kind of weird that people aren't understanding what this game brings to the table, but I can understand why they might not enjoy it as much as a standard mainline Pokemon game, or they were hoping for something a bit more. So it does look like that new Pokemon Snap is a success. It is a game for fans of the original game, and maybe it'll even bring us some new fans. I think if you're a Pokemon fan in general, you're going to enjoy this game. I'm not even a big Pokemon fan, but I am a fan of the original Pokemon Snap, so I will be picking up this game on day one, but will you be buying it? Let me know in the comments down below, and of course, be on the lookout for my review of the game, because really none of these scores matter. It's all about my review and what I think about the game, so be on the lookout for that. And finally, Nintendo released a demo last night for a game that I really had no interest in. You know, it's a game that we talked about in the upcoming May games for the Nintendo Switch. Make sure you guys watch that video if you haven't yet. But the game in question was Miitopia. Now, I never played the original Miitopia on the 3DS. I really had no desire to. And now Miitopia is getting a version on the Nintendo Switch. And I just looked at the game and I was like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a game for me. It sort of seems weird and quirky, but sometimes those are the most interesting Nintendo games that end up coming along. Well, I ended up downloading this demo and playing it for a little bit, and you know what? I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I love the game or anything like that, or that I hate the game or anything like that, but I definitely have a little bit more interest in this game. Basically, there's an evil person that's like taking people's faces, and you have to rescue faces and stuff like that. I don't know, it's a really weird and bizarre premise, but it basically plays out like a turn-based RPG game. Obviously, a little bit easier and a little bit dumbed down, I guess I would say, comparative to more intricate RPGs, but still, there's a good battle system in the game. It's just turn-based, you know, pretty standard and stock. You end up getting additional items and things that you can use in battles. You end up getting a team as well. I think the graphical style of the game works nice, but what I really liked was sort of the writing in the game. You know, it has that quirky Nintendo style where it doesn't take itself very seriously, and I think that really benefits in this game. It actually makes the game a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Now, of course, Miitopia is coming out in the month of May. It is a $50 game, so obviously they're not holding it to the same standards as a $60 game, but I think it has potential. Will I buy it on day one? I don't know. I'm probably not, but maybe if it was like $40, I think I would jump into it on day one. But I definitely was a bit more impressed with this game than I thought I would be, and I definitely enjoyed the demo a bit more than I thought I would. So, like I said, there is a free demo available right now on the Nintendo Switch eShop. I suggest you guys check it out. I mean, it's free. Why wouldn't you check it out to see if you like the game or not? And if it's your style of game, you know, if it's something that you'll want to pursue when it, of course, comes out. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you think of everything in the comment section down below. Did you get a PlayStation 5? Are you surprised that the PlayStation 5 is selling so well? New Pokemon Snap, do you plan on picking up this game? Did the reviews scare you off? And Miitopia, have you checked out the demo yet? And if not, I mean, you should. It's a free demo. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.